We've got the cobblestone in here, which once we start like compressing down the amount of pixels that we're using. Hello, little guy. Look at this guy. The texture pack that we're reviewing for channel members Tuesday is the Crimsoft Texture Pack by Rare Loot. It comes with 12 skins and 1 texture pack and is currently rated 4.3 stars out of 5 stars from 178 reviews. And it costs 660 mine tokens, which is the equivalent of £3.29 in my local currency. It says a 8x8 resource pack with vibrant colors and stylized look. Explore your world with this unique resource pack. Update to 1.21, the garden awakens. New expressive 3D look for entities. Full custom UI, 12 unique 8-bit skins included by Rare Loot. Let's get this texture pack reviewed. And remember, if you want to see the final score for this texture pack or any other texture pack that I have reviewed in the past, you can head over to dasmanblogs.blogspot.com. The link is in the description and you will see my blogging site where we have written reviews of texture packs that I've reviewed in the past. We have editorials that I have written. We have interviews with creators. We have an actions and stuff compatibility list that we are slowly building up. And we have all the texture pack scores that I have ever given in texture pack reviews in the past, as well as being able to search for any name that you want to see and compare scores. Welcome back to the home of the texture pack review. I am your host, the Dasman, and we are back in another creative world for channel members Tuesday and the Crimsoft texture pack that was suggested by my amazing channel members. Now, if you don't know what Channel Members Tuesday is, it's just my way of trying to give back for all of the support and help and just everything that channel members are giving the channel and myself personally. And the way that I do that is by allowing channel members to suggest a texture pack or an add-on, and I give them priority by doing a video on their suggestion every Tuesday. If you'd like to have one of your suggestions put on the priority list for Channel Members Tuesday, then please do consider hitting the join button and becoming a channel member today and helping out the channel, helping me make content, and also suggesting content for future videos. If you don't want to do that, then please do consider leaving a like on the video. Drop a comment down below. You can still suggest a texture pack. I'll put it on the Throwback Thursday list. Absolutely no problem. And if you're new to the channel, please do consider hitting the subscribe button as well. I'd greatly appreciate it. We're all about giving back to you guys as much as possible, whether you're a channel member, whether you're a subscriber, or whether you're just a continued viewer who doesn't want to hit the subscribe button. I mean, please do. But if you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. Thank you for watching. Throw those suggestions in the comments. I'll get them in a list and we'll get a video done soon, I guess. But with all of that being said, let's get Channel Members Tuesday underway. I'm going to jump over to the left-hand side because we do have the Crimsoft Texture Pack. And in this texture pack, it is a minimalist texture pack, apparently. It's about 8 megabytes, 7 megabytes in size on the PS5. So just bear that in mind if you're worrying about storage. And unfortunately, there isn't a ton of GUI here when it comes to the main menu or the settings. There is a new splash screen. There is a title card, but it doesn't really do much else in regards to loading screens or settings. We will see more GUI as we go through. We'll see menus and stuff like that. But really, there's not much in here. This is an 8x8 texture pack, which means it does make a lot of the blocks, a lot of the textures look smaller than they actually are, or make me look bigger than I actually am, which is always a bit of a fun effect. And yeah, it's a minimalist pack, so I'm not always well known to like minimalist vanilla packs. I kind of get bored of them halfway through a review, so I'll try to stay as energetic as possible, but just bear that in mind. This isn't my usual go-to style. Hopefully that's enough time for me to get the GUI and the skins on the screen. I feel like I've messed this intro up completely, but we're just going to carry on anyway. So let's have a look around the world, and immediately we've got a pale oak garden over there, and over there, and over there, and over there. So there's a lot of pale oaks around here for some reason in this seed. This is crazy. The seed will be in the description if you want to play in a pale oak garden spawn. Then feel free, I guess. But yeah, other than that, there isn't much in regards to the sky. The sky just kind of looks quite simple. We're going to head down here and have a look at the water as well. Always worth taking a look at the water while we're here. It's just very vanilla. There's not much change to the water, whether it be to the textures or the colors, really. It's just a subtle animation, very slow, but yeah, not much of a change. But now that we're down here, we can see. So this is what I mean by the blocks look tiny. And it's such a weird effect that always throws me when I do these kind of packs. This looks like a tiny block of grass, but it's proper sized. It is the correct size. It just doesn't feel like it. Like, look at that. It either makes the block look massive when I'm standing up against it, or it makes it look tiny when I'm looking at it, which is just awesome. Other than that, though, it's a very... I don't know. I don't really like this art style. It's very pixelized, which, I mean, what can you do? It's 8x8, right? You've only got a certain amount of space to be dealing with, but it's not the easiest to look at. It is very vanilla inspired. They've not really changed much when it comes to the world here. Come over here again. Doesn't look like we've got much in the way of variation. I'd say it's pretty much exactly the same. We've got dirt and grass here. We've got stone looking quite andesite-y. Almost what's the block called that I wanted? Not andesite, it's the polished andesite, isn't it? Let's see. Stone brick. I'm always terrible when it comes to blocks. Why am I keeping this in video? Yeah, polished. It looks very polished andesite-y from vanilla, in my opinion. We've also got the grass here, which seems to grow off the block, which is a bit weird. It's not very central. Not sure about that. And then let's just carry on flying over. We might as well peer into a pale garden as well while we're here. We don't get a chance to see these often, so let's just dive in here. Obviously, it's daytime, so we're going to be dealing with what we're dealing with. But massive amounts of grey and white on here. Okay. Honestly, as you're going up close to things, they feel massive, but as you're flying over them, they feel tiny. It's such a weird effect that you get from 8x8. Such a weird effect. I should say as well, looking at the hotbar, I'm not the biggest fan of that pixelized icons either. So yeah, I just putting it out there. It's not really doing the right stuff for me, but I'd always be interested to see what you guys are thinking. So make sure you get your comments in and give me your reviews. I do want to just head out to a more open space so we can see some of the mobs as well. I glanced at one of the mobs in the setup. I do believe that this is updated for Spring to Life. I do believe the mobs all work correctly. So if we have a look, there is a nice little effect on some of them, which hopefully we'll see. So we've got a sheep over here to begin with. And again, we've got that minimalistic, one eye, two mouth, kind of one block eye, two block mouth. Very small looking. They look very squished up and in, which is kind of cool. Gonna bang the shears on there. So we got some leftover pixels here for the color, which is very nice. Is it consistent? This guy looks kind of great. No, he's also white. Let's get a few different ones. Throw that away. And then let's put this. So does it stay? Yes, it does. So the color is consistent. That's good. I like that. Very easy to see what's going on. Do we have any other passive mobs around? I'd like to see, because like I said, there was a weird effect that I liked. So here's a cow. Again, very squished. You can kind of see the effect I'm going for here. It almost looks like we're playing in big head mode. The head looks quite big to the rest of the body, which is probably not the best thing to show off on a cow, because cows are huge. But I do like the way they've put in the facial details. I like how big his nose is there as well. Yeah, I know you've got a big nose, mate. I'm sorry, it's not my fault. Do we have a chicken or a pig around as well? Always worth looking at. Got a little donkey here. How you doing, mate? That guy's tiny. Wow. But other than that, the world just feels very, very vanilla. Very vanilla, but very old school. Like you're playing a game from the 80s. There's a chicken here as well. And there's that's big head chicken. Look at that massive head on that guy. Definitely looks like we're playing with big head mode on those old big head cheats that you used to get. Massive head on that dude. Okay. And then do we have a pig around? Maybe while we wait for a pig, I can get the rest of the spawns for the horses. And let's see. But yeah, I think this pack can be quite fun. with, let's get a pig, with the like big head mode, with the different sizes. I like the little characteristics that they give the mobs with the nose, with the head, like the detailing on that. I think they're quite cool. But other than that, the world just isn't really it for me. Get a horse on here as well. The horses feel very, very uninspired compared to the rest of the pack, I find. They're just basically there, not much to really go on, not much creativity added to those. And that's not really a shot at it, bear in mind. It's just kind of is how it is, really. The skeleton has very minimal, or the skeleton horse, sorry, has very minimal transparency, which is a shame. Good color though, white and gray on that, not bad. And then lastly, we've got the zombie horse. Get a bigger one here. Again, just kind of samey, doesn't feel like they've really gone into it much. They've just kind of done enough to do enough. So yeah, my initial feeling here is the mobs in most cases are going to be quite fun. But the world is just going to feel very samey, but then very old. Which, there's a market for that, I guess. But let's go and find a village now. And let's see what villagers look like. And if you didn't think that 3 pale oak gardens was enough, or pale gardens, or whatever they're called, is enough, then what about a nice big cherry blossom biome, or a pillager tower right next to a village? This seed is kind of crazy, I'll be completely honest with you, where we spawned in. But we're here to focus on villagers right now, so that's where we're going to look. Looking at the village itself with the building blocks, we've got the cobblestone in here, which once we start like compressing down the amount of pixels that we're using. Hello, little guy. Look at this guy. Oh, wow. He looks so tiny with a massive head. Oh, I've completely gone off what I was talking about now. Look at this guy. You are like 90% head, mate. You ain't even 90% forehead. You just full on head. How you doing, buddy? With your little farmer's hat on you there. I like that. Let me grab you for a second. So what I was going to say was, when we're condensing down the like block face for the textures, it becomes very difficult to see detailing. So this right here is almost like a cobblestone block magnified, which is kind of crazy, and is not the style of art that I particularly like, but it does look consistent, which is very good for a pack. You want the pack to look how it's supposed to look consistently throughout the pack. I hope that, you know, I hope I've said the word pack enough there, but I hope that makes sense as well. Look at this guy. His side profile is mad. His head is the same size as his chest. But little things like that just adds creativity to the pack. It adds that kind of artistic license, and it adds character as well to the textures. It's so easy to just look at a minimalist pack and just see, well, you're a carbon copy of vanilla. What do you add? I'm seeing some little characteristics into this that really add some joy. It makes me smile and laugh, I'll be honest with you. So I like that. I like that iron golem, and I like the way the villager look. Now let's see a few more. What we got going on here? No immediate signs of diversity, which is always a shame. But it's almost like we got little rugrats running around right here with these massive size heads of very plain faces. Not much going on there. Big massive noses as well. So just bear that in mind too. But it's almost kind of like, I mean, I played that game, the pop figure game on Dazman Plays a little while ago. These guys feel like run around pop figures with massive bobbleheads. So, you know, they can call it a minimalist pack as much as they like. Low resolution, casual. But I'm seeing fun. I definitely do see fun here. Let's set the world to nighttime now, and let's have a look at hostile mobs. So I've set the world to nighttime, then we might as well go and have a look at the pillagers while we're here. So let's get across and see what we've got going on. I want to see big bobblehead pillagers here. Okay, they look like they got skinny chests and bodies, and they definitely have a big hefty heads right there. Evil eyes with their eyebrows as well, but they're very, very similar to villagers, which would make sense in fairness. We've got the red chest here as well. I'm a fan of red chest. That's not bad. I like red chest. Very, very cool. I'm going to fly over here to where it's very open. So just bear in mind as well, this is your arachnophobia warning. There will be spiders in this section. So if you don't like spiders, just bear that in mind. We are talking 8x8 minimalist spiders, but just bear that in mind. That lava has a really nice glow on it as well. In terms of the night, I've just realized I've not set the night vision potion on, so I will do that. But in terms of the night, it does feel quite dark. I don't know if that's because the sky was so plain or what. Maybe it's the biome we're in, but it does feel quite dark in general. I light it up and immediately get hit by brightness. And we can see some flowers while we're here too. Very simple, but very good shapes on them as well. Like, they've done really well to make what they've done work. We've got a creeper here. And again, look, little toy style models. What's going on with him? Why have you got... They've got the, like, charged creeper effect. Is that supposed to be like that? I know actions and stuff does something like that, doesn't it? I've probably outed myself there. They might not. A texture pack that I've seen that's quite good has done that in the past, but I'm not the biggest fan of that. I do like, though, it looks like one of those Squishmallows creepers, just green instead of blue, but very small, very, like, cute even. In how it's been portrayed. Massive head again, though. Wow. I mean, this could easily be like a toy box pack for me, in all honesty. Do we have any others? Where's the spiders? Where's the skeletons? Where's the zombies? It's a very grassy world as well, which really shows off the amount of grass. Like, that creeper there is tiny compared to that grass. That's kind of mad. Let's get the skeleton. And again, look at how tiny that is compared to this. Like, I can't even tell. Hold on. It's not even that they've changed the model size. Like, they're still taller than me. There's just a massive head to tiny body ratio. No transparency on the skeleton again, which I'm not a fan of, but that is kind of counteracted by the size of his head. Yeah, I do like, I don't know why I'm stuttering. I really do like the characteristics that they've added to these mobs. They're very vanilla inspired. They aren't changing the world, but just by adding that little change, it registers in my head as slightly more than vanilla and slightly more than like minimalistic. The zombie, again, just cute. It's very cute in how it works. We've got the spider here as well, which also tiny body, tiny legs, massive head, but not much of a change from vanilla. So the creeper with the charged effect is probably the furthest away from vanilla in how it looks. But I feel like we could just put them all up, put them in a toy box, and it'd look quite awesome, to be fair. What's that? I've never seen this before. A ruined portal built into the side of a mountain. That's kind of awesome as well. I like that. That's a nice little effect. Nothing to do with the texture pack, just the world generation. This might be one of my favorite seeds. Let's head under water now, and let's go and see the ocean monument. Alright, so we are flying above an ocean monument now. It's still nighttime. I still have night vision potion on. There's a little mushroom island over there as well, which is kind of crazy. And immediately, again, not getting too much of a change from the overall feel of the ocean monument. Even the prismarine bricks, let's get under here. Even the prismarine bricks are using that standard Y model, which we see a lot. Y model, Y texture, whatever you want to call it, which we see a lot. So again, not massively reinventing the wheel, but letting that 8x8 artistic style really do what it's supposed to do. Prismarine, again, feeling quite cobbly, quite difficult to make out the detailing, but we've got the color change on here as well, which is awesome. I like that, and it's very slow color changing. Let's get up here. The sea lantern, very simple, quite clean. I like it. It's not reinventing the wheel, but it just looks quite nice. Get rid of that fish. And if we open this up, let's see what the big guy is looking like. Where you at, my dude? Come on, man. Out you come. Let's see how you're looking. I'm going to pop you free. Out you come. So not even necessarily a big head mode from this guy. I mean, he's got very good colors of blue on the spikes. He seems to be a little bit concerned and worried. Not much on there, though. Not much of an inspiration or even a change or anything like that on that. We've got the drowned. Now back to the big head mode on the drowned. Almost looks like we've got baby mobs. Good 3D elements there on the shattered clothes as well, but other than that, not much. And then from the Little Guardian, yeah, I mean, it does the job quite nice. The textures looking very well made, even when pixelated. They somehow look smooth, but pixelated. It's a really weird effect. But again, I'm more impressed with this pack than I thought I was going to be. Let's head underground and let's see what the trial chamber looks like now. So one thing I never said at the beginning, because I got so confused with my own intro, was that this pack was released Tuesday the 2nd of April 2024, but was actually updated only 6 days ago. That's a lie, 4 days ago. It was updated on February 18th of July 2025, which means everything should be all up to date. And the reason why I triggered that is because it's awesome to see a pack from an older time have Tough updated, have the garden updated. It's so good and it helps so much with immersion. And again, it just all kind of fits in. The Tough and the Tough family, the copper blocks, they all work in this art style. They all stay consistent and they all stay keeping immersion. I'm struggling to speak, but yeah, I know what I'm trying to say. It's just, I've said it before, it's so easy to get a pack where newer blocks don't feel like they're part of the same pack. You're not getting that here, at least not currently. Obviously, some of the blocks are still harder to see, like the Chisel Tough, you're making out no detail on that. We've got the Mossy Cobblestone, no detail on that, but that comes from the 8x8. That comes from the lack of space. But you can see quite clearly the 8x8 here because you've got the pixels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 just there. So I mean, I like having that consistent texture that just works. Nothing feels like it's out of place and nothing really feels too jarring either. Even the concrete, which normally would be quite a jarring clash, because it's got these little bits of grey details on the side, they still kind of fit in. They still kind of work well, which is not bad. And it kind of helps that this pack uses red quite a lot as well, and orangey reds, which is very much my favourite colour, despite the blue hair. Let's have a look at the breeze real quick while I'm waffling. Not much of a change there from vanilla, and unfortunately, because there's no body, you don't really get that big head effect either. So this leans towards that kind of vanilla inspired, not much of a change feel that we haven't had for a lot of the mobs in this texture pack. But let's head over to the Armoury now and let's see what mostly all of the blocks look like. And here we are in the Armoury. I promise you a new Armoury is coming at some point. I just need to actually sit down and build it. Maybe I'll do a stream. What would you guys think about that? A stream around about 8 PM UK time, maybe during the week one time, and we'll just build an Armoury together. What about that? Let me know down in the comments. But we're here in the Armoury. We can see how the world is built. We've obviously got Tough, we've got gravel, andesite, granite, diorite. Doesn't look too different to vanilla at all, to be honest with you. We've just got almost a kind of cubism going. You can see the square outlines to patterns a lot, but I mean, it works fine for the artistic style that we've got going on here. We've got the cherry blossom tree. Again, quite difficult to make out the detailing with the pixelized textures. Trees feel tiny even here. They don't even feel that big. That's kind of crazy on that as well. Let's keep popping through. I really like birch. Birch is one of my favorite trees. It gets the most love and attention in texture packs. It just works really well. It's so easy to make a nice texture for this. I don't know why. We've got jungle on here, acacia as well. We've got the pale oak tree too, which is updated. Not much of a change in terms of the creaking. I suppose it's just kind of squished in a little bit, but there isn't much, if any, creative license been taken on that. Dark oak, mangrove, again, the trees are just kind of the trees, not really much on that. Pop through here for the doors, and this is where minimalism just kind of bores me. There's not much in terms of creative license added to a lot of this, and it's a shame. It's just so difficult. That's more of a knock on the art style than it is on the texture pack though, so just bear that in mind. But there's only so much you can make a minimalist door look different to a vanilla door, really. As we go for the beds, the walls, the trapdoors, and the carpets on here as well. The beds are a bit blurry in the amount of detail that they've tried to add in. The creaking heart, unfortunately, seems to have bugged in that texture, which is a shame. I wish we could get away from that, but that seems to happen a lot as well. The precious blocks and ores, the ores feel very blurry and very difficult to look at, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Keep coming on through here. We got ancient debris and stuff. We got the glass, good color on the glass, massive borders. Because they're only 8 bits across, those borders take up 1/8 for the block. They are huge borders on that. Same for the the glass panes. And then for the blocks, so consistently the blocks all look that little bit smaller than a normal block. Not quite mini blocks, not quite mega blocks as we go through, but I think they're very consistent in their art style. The slime block, now I'm expecting the slime face to look very similar to that. One eye there, one bigger eye, and then a mouth just there. So I'm going to be interested to see if that's the case. We've got the woolly blocks here, that standard kind of pixely woolly design to make it look like Fred. I have no idea what difference we're getting here on the dead coral. At least with the live coral, sorry, the colors look good. You can tell them apart. Come over here. We've got, well, we don't have a wandering trader actually, but that's why I put this here. And that's a, nope, get in there. Ah, he's popped out. That's a shame. This is one thing as well that I'm not too sure of. I noticed it for the armor trims, but when they're in item frames, they're not central and they're not big, which is just weird. Can I put this one back in here, please? Thank you very much. Get rid of that. So that's a shame. If it's meant to look like that, then it works. And it does seem to be consistent, but it's just weird. As we get another big-headed wandering trader. We got the camels here as well with some good color. Very good blues on that. The camels in here. Not much going on there. Those two trying to share one brain. The sniffer. Again, not much of a change. And then the slime. No, the slime doesn't look like the face of the slime block. Interesting then. They put a slime face on the face of the slime block, and it's not the slime's face. Weird. Good green color there, though. That is very vibrant. Keep going through for the rest of the blocks on here. And again, it's just very consistent in how it looks. The bricks look nice back there. Good color as well. The purples, the greens. Good use of color. The orange and the green from the copper. I just like the way the blocks are very consistent. And then we've got the workbenches. Good use of red on the chests. We've got, where's that crafting table? There's a crafting table over there, which again has lost a lot of detail on the sides. And a lot of these blocks, they're just keeping as little detail as possible to show you what it is, but not to overload it, which it's quite upsetting because of how much you're losing. But what can you do at the end of the day, I guess? The cactus there as well. And then let's get in here. Let's see. So we've got the paintings off in the background. Not really much of a muchness. And then we've got the armor. So there's the leather armor. Not much going on there. The weapons, immediately I can see their copy and paste. So that's disappointing. Good color on the leather armor. We're going to pop through chainmail. So they can do transparency because they've done it there. And there's those. Iron. I'm going to guess that it looks like there's copy and paste on a lot of these armors. So once you get this armor style, just change the color and you're going to have iron, gold, diamond, and netherite. And there's the, oh, it looks like as well, shorter weapons. Yeah, look at that. Like massive in the hand, but they're definitely shorter. Weird shapings going on here for that 8x8. There's the gold, good bright color. Good color there as well. Diamond, same again, very bright and vibrant. Same again. And then lastly, netherite feels a bit darker as we go in here. But it's just a shame about that copy and paste. It really loses. It's such an easy opportunity to add extra to your pack by having different designs for the weapons, different designs for the armors. Once you have samey, it's just very boring. But you expect it in a minimalist pack, in a vanilla inspired pack. You do expect it. We've got the elytra wings, again, quite plain. The trident, good color, but again, quite plain. Same for the shield, same for the mace and the heavy core. Now, those bundles cannot be the right size. They're not even being held correctly, which makes me think the item frame is wrong as well. It's like they're not using the transparent background properly. It's a very weird effect going on that. And then if we put on the carved pumpkin as well, so not much of a change on that side. And then we grab that. It's a good face, good design there, but not much going on, unfortunately, which is a shame. And then last but not least here, we're going to just push this button and we get the custom GUI, which is there. There is a custom GUI and it's quite charming, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, this pack, I still like it. I think the mobs are the strongest part because of the character that we get in the big heads. I like the effect that we get with the blocks feeling both small and big depending on where you are. But the pack definitely misses every opportunity to kind of add a bit more of itself and a bit more creative license, which is a shame. Let's head to the Nether and let's see what's going on there. All right, then, so we're going into the Nether now. You can see that custom title card for the Minecraft Crimsoft. I need to stop going into the Nether in the trial chamber because we always end up underground. But let's see what we got going on first. We can see the Nether rack, which again feels very cobblestoney, very prismarine in how little detail there is to see. It's a very strong magma block though. That's kind of nice. And lava we saw in the overworld is quite bright. I'm going to go into spectator mode and let's just fly through here and see if we can get out and see what goes on up here. So into creative mode again. The overall feel of the Nether doesn't feel too different. The trees for the warped Nylium biome, they feel kind of long and stretchy. I like the greens though. Again, it feels dirtier here, but in the best way possible. Like it adds that bit of roughness that you kind of need in the Nether. I'm not against it, to be honest with you. I am against the way this guy doesn't look anything like the magma block. Please, texture pack creators, magma cube, magma block, make them look the same. They're part of the same family. The slime block and the slime cube look exactly the same. Anywho, breakdown over. Hope you could hear me. Let's carry on through here. Good little color transition into the purple. Yeah, I like that. That's nice. I do need to add the trees, the Nether trees, to the armory, don't I? Because we don't always check them. It feels like there's a good red. It's a strong red here. Not bad. Got a zombie pigment. How you doing, buddy? Can I? Because you look tiny again. Okay, yeah, elements of big head. Doesn't feel as overpowering there. Maybe it's because he's got the sword, which helps like put it in there. I like the eyebrows as well. The eyebrows are quite strong. Whoa. That guy gave me an evil look. Look at that. That's almost like a skeleton head, though. Okay, that looks very much like a skeleton's head. I'm going to go into survival. Oh, okay, he smiled at me. Excuse me. Who's firing next? There's the firing animation. Back into creative, thank you. The guy looks like Voldemort. Look at that. I just feel like he's going to be like, oh, Vada Kedavra. Where's your nose, bro? Where's your nose, huh? Where's your nose? Thank you very much. See you later. Carry on. I'm picking fights now with mobs that can't fight back. This is when you know I've gone crazy. And then over here, oh wow. Okay, well, I found a fortress. This can't be the only fortress. What is it? Okay, no, it goes off in that direction. Fair dues. And that's next to a crimson biome as well. Oh, good purple. Good purple on that. I like that. That's nice. For me, that's nice. Is that gravel? That is gravel. Okay. There are some stronger blocks here, man. This is, yeah, I'm liking this a lot more than I thought I was going to be all honesty with you. We've got the Wither skeleton here. Yeah, it's a copy of a skeleton just flipped. So many texture packs do that, but again, that massive head, I can't be angry at it. It's a little baby skeleton. I can't be mad at that. Got the blaze here as well. Same problem that we had with the breeze. There's no body, so we're not really able to tell the character of the head there. Other than that, it's quite plain and simple. Not sure what's going on there with that one texture on the corner. Did he bump his head? Who knows? But yeah, let's get the Wither out here. So the Wither is now spawning in. Not much of a change in terms of model. Not much of a change in terms of color either. Just feels quite stripped back. Quite calm. Not really much going on there. Oh wow, that was such a color change. Like look, this is the Nether here. The bluer background, the grays, spin round, massive amount of color. It's like a brand new world. I like that. That's kind of cool. Let's head to the end let's see what the Ender Dragon looks like. All right, so into the end we are then, and let's have a look. So immediately, there's a little bit more detail in the end stone than I expected, what with these grey purpley stuff. So let's have a look. Let's get this up here and see what's happening. So the void is quite simple, quite easy to look at. The Enderman, they look a little bit shorter, but not really much going on there. Very little big head effect there as well. And then if we pop through here to see the Ender Dragon, again, quite simple and samey, really doubling down on what I was saying earlier about how it's missing every opportunity to just add that creative license. Like, okay, big head mobs are really only going to take you so far. They need to kind of add a few things in here to make it their own. So far, all I've kind of seen is the creeper effect and the big head effect, which is a little bit weird. So it's getting a little bit more and more disappointing as we carry on through. But let's head to the ancient city and let's see what the Warden looks like. All right, so we're in the ancient city then. And immediately, so I'm getting a bit of a purple hue from the stone. Probably the best way to put it. And I really like that cubic effect. And it works really nice with that embossed element as well. It kind of makes it feel like some of the blocks are like pushing in, some of the blocks are poking out. Got that darker bluey kind of effect there as well. It's very vanilla, but it looks quite polished with that embossed style. But I'm kind of stretching in terms of what we got. What, a slightly purple stone and a vanilla-y embossed skulk. There's not really much else. Color, again, very good with those greens off in the distance. Very vibrant pack indeed. Let's get the Warden out here. All right, so the Warden should be about to spawn now then. Not much going on there. Massive horns on this guy though, but really not much of an effect. Again, it looks clean. It's perfectly well made in terms of the art style that we've got here. No real cheap shortcuts or anything like that, but just kind of uninspiring for me personally, as this isn't my art style that I like. So what am I going to give this texture pack out of 10? I'm going to try and lean away from my own bias. I don't like vanilla packs. I don't particularly like minimalist packs. There has been some things here that I like. So I'm going to lean on a 7 out of 10. And hopefully you guys will give me the opportunity to say why. So again, vanilla, not a fan of. Minimalist, I'm not a fan of. But if I put myself in the position of somebody who probably does like those art styles, there are certain things here that I do like. So I like the added elements of creativity when they are added. Simply things like the big heads on the mobs, things like the different color chest, things like the slightly purpley stone, you know, little elements of just adding that creative sparkle, that artistic license. I think they're really well made. I think it stays very consistent to pack very well as well. So, you know what you're getting, and you're getting it all over the place, which is very, very good. I do think I could have easily given this a 6 out of 10. I think there are definitely a lot of missed opportunities, but I want to err on the side of positivity today, I think. So I'm going to go for a 7 out of 10 myself. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed this texture pack review. Please do leave a like on the review. And if you're new to the channel, please do consider hitting that subscribe button as well. Thank you once again to my channel members for constantly supplying me with suggestions for content for Channel Members Tuesday. Look out for a members only community post. I'll be asking for more suggestions very, very soon, I'm sure. But if you have a suggestion and you don't want to become a channel member, firstly, why? Hit the join button, please. But if you don't want to become a channel member and you have a suggestion, comment a texture pack that you'd like me to review. I'll add it to the Throwback Thursday list. Thank you so much for the support. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!